Stop contributing to your 401k. Nobody tells you the truth. Let me show you something that should make you uncomfortable. Today, we were talking about when you should stop contributing to 401k, because in reality, doing something wrong is the worst financial move you can make. The current average 401k balance in the United States is $148,153. That sounds great on paper. Just as Americans eventually crushed entire retirement plans. But here is what your financial advisor won't tell you. Pull out the median balance. It means real middlemen, typical American workers. The figure plunged to $38,176. Decades of contributions. Every paycheck. All these maximize recommendations are met in adults. The average American still earns $38,000. And it got uglier. Ted Benna, who really invented 401k, on CBS News, he called his creations fictional monsters. In his exact words, it exploded. Go see him. My father publicly regretted what had happened to him. So today, we skipped the recycling you heard from other financial channels and had a real conversation on 5 specific situations. It is wise to suspend or redirect 401k funds. By the end of the video, you'll know exactly where you stand. Let's get started. The first is obvious, because I don't want to comment on some self-immolations. 401k is not a hoax. Period. For most people, in most cases, the account works very well. By the end of 2025, Americans held about $10.1 trillion in 401k assets, according to the investment company Research Institute. That is the real pillar of American retirement. The problem is that 401k plans have never been the only retirement plan to carry ordinary workers. Back in 1978, the tax bill passed under Carter. The segment labeled 401k is hidden in the tax code. Executives at Kodak and Xerox have quietly lobbied to delay cash bonuses. That is the point. Nothing else. 2 years later, a welfare consultant named Ted Benna was reading the tax code. Apparently for fun, it was then that he realized he could use the mysterious clause. Ask regular employees to postpone wages and match them with the company. Modern 401k was born in 1980. Within 20 years, American companies use the new toy as a perfect excuse to cancel pensions. What used to be a company problem became your problem overnight. That means your money, your investment choices, your risks, your entire retirement, shoulder to shoulder, including zero training. When I asked if you should stop giving, I'm not being slippery. Math actually means pausing in 5 very specific situations. Right here. Reason 1. You don't have a contingency fund. This time, it was huge. On the platform, few people talk honestly about it. When the high-yield savings account gets nothing, inject funds into the 401k account for car crashes, emergency rooms, or layoffs due to the full outbreak of the financial crisis. The reasons matter. When life is tough, you don't have the money to sit outside. Both options are open and brutal. Option 1 is a difficult retreat that would trigger the IRS to impose a 10% penalty on the full withdrawal of ordinary income tax. The second option is a 401k loan. This is the data that should stop you from catching a cold. Wharton Research, National Bureau of Economic Research. 8 to 6% were found to have left their employers. Outstanding 401k loans are also in default. 86%. Loans turned into distributions. Taxes are smashed, fines are smashed, and money is gone. And the trend is accelerating. Pioneer reported that in 2024, 4.8% of the plan participants were difficult to withdraw, a record, up from 2.8% 2 years ago. People's pensions are running out because they are not told to accumulate cash reserves. First, set up a contingency fund and donate. The sequence is not optional. There are 2 reasons. You have high interest debt. If your credit card balance was 22%, 24%, or even 27% in April. In fact, in 2025 and 2026, these interest rates will become very ugly. No investment on the planet has surpassed that interest. Historically, the stock market has returned about 7 to 10% after inflation. Your credit card charges you 3 times a month, guaranteed. The lender is not involved in market risk. Now is where people misunderstand me. Skipping a race is never the answer. Employers match free funds. The average employer matching rate is about 4.6% of wages, according to Vanguard. In your company, up to 5% of the dollar-to-dollar means you contribute 5%. Period. Because this is an immediate 100% return. There is no debt repayment to match. Anything above a match becomes a different calculation. High interest debt on your shoulders. The extra money belongs to your payment plan, not your retirement account. Chian Aoxiu has built a complete framework around this point, known as the Financial Operation Order. High interest debt followed. In part because, that is, math is not for anyone. Reason 3. Your plan has a garbage fee. This part of the blood pressure will soar, so be prepared. Labor Department documents are fully public and easy to find. Show the percentage difference in 401k costs. Over a 35-year career, the final balance fell 28%. 28% of total retirement income. Evaporate and pay a fee you've never seen before. The big 401k usually looks good in this regard. ICI data show that in 2024, the average cost rate of 401k plan equity mutual funds was only 0.26%. This is the lowest level we've ever seen. But the small business plan is another animal. According to a study by Employee Trusts, the average full cost for small businesses 401k plans return 1.18%. 75% of the plan includes hidden costs, including revenue sharing and package fees. Insurance company management fees buried 23 pages of undisclosed information. Here is what you're going to do tonight. Take out your planning documents. Find the cost ratio of the fund you actually own. If you pay 5% of the north in the fund itself, you get a perfect match. Seriously, consider staying there and transferring additional money to Fidelity, Schwab, or Vanguard's Roth IRA. The cost of index funds is 0.03%. This game is still won every time. But this is Ted Benna's monster, warning everyone to maximize expensive plans after the game. Reason 4. You haven't funded your HSA yet. This is the least used retirement account in the United States. Watching people jump over it really drives me crazy. Participating in the high-deductible health plan can unlock the health savings account. It happens to be the only account in the entire U.S. tax code. It has a so-called triple tax advantage. Donations are pre-tax. Growth compounds duty-free. Eligible medical withdrawals are tax-free at any age. 401k gives you a double tax advantage at best. Roth IRA gives you a pair, and HSA quietly beats them. In 2026, if you are single, donations limit land to $4,400 and families to $8,750. At 65, the rules were relaxed. Let you pay for anything, because non-medical withdrawals are taxed like traditional IRS. That means your HSA quietly acts as an invisible retirement account. Every serious financial planner I respect. That is how you line up from rich people to crazy demons. Capture 401k, matches, maximum HSA, and then return 401k. Skipping HSA will overload your 401k, which will put tax-free benefits on the table. Fifth, this time is controversial. Your tax status. The overall tone behind the traditional 401k sounds simple on the surface. It deferred taxes today, paid taxes after retirement, because then your tax rate will be significantly lower. But really, this is a much larger hypothesis than people realize. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 offered Americans the lowest personal tax rate in decades. Those rates are scheduled to be set by the end of 2025, whether Congress extends the deadline or not. When I recorded this video, it was growing fast. The long-term direction of American tax rates is upward, not downward. We have $36 trillion in federal debt. Eventually, someone will pay for it. Today, parking spaces for low-income people are in the 12% or 22% range. Might actually do the smartest thing of his life. Lock in these rates through Roth 401k or Roth IRA. Now, pay taxes at known rates. Every dollar of growth over the next 40 years is tax-free, permanent, and sustainable. Waiting at 70 is no surprise. This is a major development in 2026. Under Secure 2.0, anyone 50 or older. They earned more than $145,000 from their employers the previous year. Now you have to make a catch-up contribution based entirely on Roth. The government is already pushing high earners toward Roth. Read between the lines. Shrink for a second, and then, because I think the bigger story here gets little attention on this platform. 401k was an accident. Its design did not anticipate what we would do with it today. 45 years later, ordinary Americans are expected to become their own pension fund managers. Selective investment, timing market, and cost aversion. So far, the results have been mixed. The numbers are telling, but not helpful. A survey released by the American Association of Retirees, ARP, in April 2024, found that 1 in 5 Americans over the age of 50 did not have retirement savings, not low savings. 61% of those in the same group said they were worried about running out of money. Even the inventor, Ted Benna himself, he told MarketWatch that most of his retirement was not in the 401k system at all. The people who built it don't fully trust it, and it should be hard to land. None of this means abandoning the account. That means opening your eyes and using it. Don T. Be a 15% contributor. Ignore costs. Never set up a contingency fund. Skip HSA. Never consider Roth. Then, at 60, wonder why the median balance is still $38,000. That is the bottom line. If I had started from scratch today, I would have managed the hierarchy. The first step is to capture a complete employer match. Always, without exception, because it is 100% free. The second step is to kill any debt with interest rates above 7% or 8%. The third step is to deposit 3 to 6 months of fees into a high-yield savings account. Step 4. If you are eligible for an HSA, set the HSA to the maximum. Step 5. Max a Roth IRA. In 2026, the maximum limit for people under 50 was $7,500. Step 6. Go back to 401k and push toward the $24,500 ceiling. That is an order. This is the framework for real results. Last week, a TikTok guy yelled at you instead of the lazy. Just maximize your 401k advice. 401k is a tool. It is a hammer. It worked. If every problem in your financial life starts to look like a nail, Then, because it is your only tool, you end up building a very crooked house. If this video works, do me a favor, click subscribe, because I delete these videos every week. Analyze issues that Wall Street and your human resources department have been ignoring. Also comment and tell me where you actually stand on the 6-step list, because I read every book. See you next time.